So we got ESPN insider Dan Graziano. He's reporting that the Lions could move Sam Laporta. Jack Campbell probably going to be the highest linebacker. Jameer Gibbs going to be the highest running back. I had somebody in the comment section or I seen on social media ask, why would they pay Jameer Gibbs so early? It's a gift in the car. I mean, it's how you weigh it, bro. However you look at it. You know, you can look at it from, you know, we ain't gonna pay him to the last minute, and if he get injured, guess what? You see what happened with Sam Laporta, Brian Branch. You know, we wait to pay him. Right before we can pay him, they get injured. So we dodged the bullet. So we don't pay them. If they come back and have a great year, we'll pay them. If they come out and have an average year, we don't have to pay them that much, right? But if you pay them prematurely, you pay them early, it's usually cheaper. But guess what? If they get injured, if you would have waited a year, you know, you wouldn't have to pay them. You know, that's the double-edged sword about it. But you'd rather jump ahead of the curve because NFL money ain't guaranteed. You can void it. Insurance could pick it up, whatever. So I'm in favor. If you're going to give him $22 million for 22 for $88 million, get it done. You know, I would just say keep his bodyguard, David Montgomery, in the offensive line. You know, invest in that too. You know, invest into David Montgomery to keep him clean and increase the longevity of Jameer Gibbs. Okay. So, but moving on. Yeah, I mean, of course, you know, the thing about it is Laporta becomes expendable if they trade him. My thing is, where do you go get a tight end at? If you trying to make this Max Crosby trade, you know, where do you go get a tight end at? That's the number one thing at. You tried to draft James Mitchell. It didn't work. So where do you get a tight end? They struggled last year when he went out there. So where do you get a tight end at if you're willing to move him? Do you go give a short deal to Travis Kelce? Do you go pay David Njoku? You know what I'm saying? The difference between Njoku and Joku, he ain't the same timing. You know, he's not, and he got to avoid the franchise tag. He's not the same timing tight end as Sam Laporta is. He more athletic. You know, you look at Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz. He been doing it for a long time. Tyler Higsby had a good year with Matthew Stafford. You know, Noah Fant. We chose Hockenson over him. Possibly Hockenson might be available or he might get cut. I don't know. Isaiah Likely is a guy. Maybe they can go out there and pay Isaiah Likely. So there's some guys out there. So there's some guys out there to go from this free agent list. If they don't get tagged, let me name the notable names. Travis Kelce, David Njoku, Taysom Hill really ain't a tight end. Dallas Goedert, Tyler Higsby, Zach Ertz, he old though. Austin Hooper, he's still doing it. Taylor Conklin, Noah Fant, Mo Ali Cox, Darren Waller had a good year out there. Who else we got? I said Travis Kelce. Mercedes Lewis still playing? Harrison Bryant, he was in Cleveland for a minute. Cade Otton, he was in Tampa. Isaiah Likely, Chingo Kanku, the dude from Tennessee. And that's about it. So if I'm them, yeah, I'm probably going after Isaiah Likely, you know. Because the rumor is it sounds like the Baltimore Ravens is going to use the tag on that center. I think I heard that. So you can't use the tag twice. So you can go try to get Isaiah Likely, put him in this offense, and keep it rolling. Totally different tight end from Sam Laporta. Laporta is very athletic, timing pattern, very reliable. Isaiah Likely is he's about as big as he is, but more of the explosive tight end, more the vertical tight end. I remember the Lions took a vertical tight end and didn't let him get vertical. And Eric Ebron, they had Eric Ebron run all these timing pattern routes, and that wasn't what he was good at. He got with Andrew Luck, and he became a Pro Bowler because they got him vertical. And that's the number one thing that I see a lot of teams do. They draft these guys and they try to fit them into the system fit them into a system that don't fit them and develop them instead of just saying, you know what, this is what he is. Let's do what he do best. Let's get that rolling, his confidence up, and then we work on the other stuff. So Lions just kept having Ebron run these timing patterns. The thing with Laporta, he can run timing patterns. He can get down the field. Isaiah Likely, he more of a guy that get down the field. So on them third downs, he more likely can make explosive plays. So, can he really be that time and pattern quarter tight end or quarterback friendly tight end that can get open and be available, at the sticks and be friendly. Laporta knew how to fill those zones, sit down, run through. He was so quarterback friendly and so vital to what they did, and that's why they struggled when he went out. And he also was a great red zone threat, which Isaiah Likely will be a great red zone threat. But he can't, you get him or Njoku, they more guys to get down the field. Yeah, they more guys, so that's the difference. So the offense going to look a lot different. So really, what you're looking at, you got Isaac Tesla like to get down the field, J-Mo like to get down the field. So on third downs, you're probably going to ask your running backs to help Amon-Ra St. Brown out the backfield to move those chains a lot more. Of course, your explosive play is going. That's the thing about Laporta. He was more that timing guy, that reliable guy on them third downs. He can catch the ball, behind the sticks and get the first down and rush and get the first down and run through tackles. Also, red zone friendly. Also can get down the field and make explosive plays. Also is a solid blocker. When you start kind of Njoku or Isaiah Likely, yeah, they're more explosive. They're going to give you more explosion. But on them third downs, are they going to be as reliable and quarterback friendly to Goff as Sam Laporta? And to be honest, you probably just got to find a way to pay Sam, Jack, and Jahmyr Gibbs. You probably got to find a way to make that happen. Respectfully, I just think they are too important. You got the best inside linebacker and Jack Campbell. Those are hard to find. Take 2 years to develop. You got a great running back in Jahmyr Gibbs. The talent, the speed, can't find it nowhere. And you got a tight end that, probably not going to get paid like a top tier tight end. He's a hellified tight end that you you can, in good character guy that you have to, Goff may need, because the receivers that you got around them outside of Amon-Ra, they all explosion. They all got to get down the field. Now, can you develop, Isaac Tesla to run those routes and make those tough catches over? If you can develop J-Mo or Sam Laporta to really move those sticks like that, then we might be having a different conversation. Then we might be having a different conversation. But right now, my roster, the one guy, him and Sam Laporta, them your third down guys. Them your Mr. Reliables. So can you develop Gibbs into the passing game? Can you develop, J-Mo going over the middle or Isaac Tesla going on those timing patterns? Or can you find another receiver, tight end that can do those? So that's an interesting conversation to have, man. I know a lot of y'all don't value him like that, but, he actually makes the Lions that much more dangerous, because you got to respect him on them third downs, them shallow crossing routes, them out routes, his ability to run through tackles and run after the catch. Also a solid blocker, also a red zone friendly guy. So I don't see them trading him, to be honest. Even though we talk about other top names there, the offense is definitely going to look different. Now, once again, Drew Petzing is a tight end whisperer, but to be honest with you, McBride reminds me more of Laporta than the other guy. So it ain't just about athleticism. He's an all-around tight end. So personally, if you ask me, find a way to pay him. Hit the link in the description. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. The link says find me everywhere. You can find me everywhere there. Peace.